Hey there, guys. I'm here to talk about Kaiba's character deck from Battle City. Um, this is just like it's a boss deck. It's pretty awesome. It's my favorite deck to use. It's got a lot of powerful cards, and just every draw is good. And up against Yugi, it's probably it's fantastic. Before I show you the cards, I think it's worth mentioning that we have errated card effects to match the anime, and change some card names to match up with the anime, as well as made cards that weren't actually made. So so they really match with the anime character decks. Anyways, the first card we have is Obelisk Tormentor. Everybody knows he's God card. He's pretty good. He's really powerful. We changed a couple things with his. It's pretty close, but it's a little different. I'm gonna tell you real quick. So this card cannot be set. Period. Must tribute 3 monsters to normal summon. Normal summon of this card cannot be negated. While face up on the field, its type is also treated as warrior. This card is unaffected by spell, trap effects, and other effects, monsters effects that would destroy, tribute, or change control of this card, except field continuous spell trap cards or divine monster effects. So like Spellbinding Circle would work. Any equipped cards that target this card are destroyed immediately. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, if summoned in face-up defense position, when a monster your opponent controls declares an attack, you can switch the attack target to this card. It is sent to the graveyard during the end phase. Once during the battle phase, you contribute 2 monsters to apply one of the following effects. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls and inflict 4,000 damage, which is treated as battle damage to your opponent's life points. This card cannot declare an attack the turn you activate this effect. If your opponent cannot reduce the battle damage inflicted by this card to 0, you win the duel. So once again, just really powerful God card. This is a lot of fun to use too. So next we have Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is like what Kaiba's known for. It's also the most powerful normal monster in the game. And all 3 of these bad boys out on the field with polymerization. Well, we all know what that gets. If you don't, you will in a minute. Anyways, yeah, there's just a lot of fun. And my favorite thing about these cards is what it says on them. It's really good. And if you don't know what it says, buy one and find out, because you need this card. Next, we have Kaiser Glider. He's a lot of fun, just because he looks cool. And he's also 2,400 attack, 1 sacrifice to summon him. And then he cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that's the same attack. And then when he is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you return 1 monster on the field to the owner's hand. So like if your opponent does manage to destroy him, it doesn't matter because that monster is going back to their hand, which means that they're most likely a tribute summoned monster. And now he's got to work to get something out on the field again. Next we have Thunder Dragon. This is a really good card because you just real quick, you can throw one out to the graveyard, discard it, and then summon the other 2, or not summon them, but pick the other 2 from your deck. And it's a real good at getting your card moving and
burning through your decks.
Yeah, and so another thing is if you get polymerization, you can get out Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, which is pretty cool. 2,800 attack. He's kind of a beast. Next we have
Hyru Zanryu?
Yeah, and I had him say that because I can't say it. I never can, no matter how hard I try. You could spell it out, say it slowly, it doesn't matter. I can't do it.
The Diamond Dragon.
He's good with Cost Down or like Flute of Summoning Dragon with Lord of D. It's just a quick way to get him out of the field. Or you can, take the time to do the 2 sacrifices.
Real quick, this monster's a piece of shit, and he sucks.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say is I would not do the 2 sacrifices. If I had to discard a card, it would be him. Next we have 3 machine types that Kaiba used. X-Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. These are union monsters. Well, 2 of them are. And you can attach them to any of each other. That all works. And then there's the other thing. When you do that, there's fusion cards that are summoned. You do not need polymerization. But Kaiba only used XYZ Dragon Cannon.
And then XY Dragon Cannon.
Yeah. And those 2 are really, honestly, they're pretty much badass.
XYZ Dragon Cannon might actually be his best fusion monster.
Next we have Force Raider and Ryukishin Powered. I like these cards because you can use Shrink on them and then use Crush Card Virus, which I'll tell you about those later. But when you hear about that, you're going to understand, like, wow, that's really cool. And then there's Tatsumi Giant, which is Kaiba's first monster he summoned in Duelist Kingdom. It's just a really cool looking card. I always thought it was awesome whenever I first saw it. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Then we have Blade Knight, which is been errated to be a normal monster like the anime. He's just another cool looking card, but no, we don't use his effect in this.
And the reason we changed that to be a normal monster also is just because that way you have other things to hit, like Silent Doom. That way he's a normal monster. You know, if you have him in your graveyard, you might be able to pull Blue Eyes or Obelisk or something like that out quicker. It just makes it easier.
Next we have Dark Gremlin. I know it's Des Feral Imp, but in the anime it's Dark Gremlin, and he's a normal monster. So that's how he is in the character deck. Then we have Kaiser Seahorse. You know, if you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what this bad boy is for. You get him out of the field, and you can use him as two tribute summons with a light monster. So, like, that's pretty awesome. Get your Blue Eyes right there with one sacrifice.
He's definitely Blue Eyes target.
Then we have Sword of Soul, which is one of the cards we have made. So when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, select one face-up monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack until the end phase. He's really cool. Like, Kaiba used him with Obelisk at some point. Remember, it's a little fuzzy on how that worked, but he went to the graveyard and 1,000 points added to the attack. Then we have La Jin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp. Everybody knows this is a Kaiba card. Like, it's really cool. I think it's neat looking. Then we've got Battle Ox, another normal monster. This is like, I don't know, when I think of Kaiba, I think of Blue Eyes, and then I think of Battle Ox. He's pretty neat. I like him. Then we got Lord of D, used with Flute of Summoning Dragon. This is what I was talking about earlier. You get these two together, and you can summon 2 dragon types from your hand, and it's a special summon, so you could still normal summon after that. Combination I usually do, I'll get Lord of D. Usually I already have a Flute of Summoning Dragon, so throw Lord of D down, activate the Flute of Summoning Dragon, which has already been on the field, and then I'll throw down the 2 Blue Eyes or that other guy that's worthless.
Really cool. You know, Kaiba used 2 Flute of Summoning Dragons in the anime, but we didn't see a point of having 2 of them. They're just another card space. Kaiba's deck's 45 cards anyway, so it's already kind of a thicker deck.
Next we have Polymerization. Everybody knows what Polymerization's for. If you don't, you better buy one because you better have one. Then here's Virus Cannon, which is errated to a spell card to match the anime because he's a spell card in the anime. In this card, you contribute a non-token monster you control for each, and then that removes 10 spell cards from your opponent's deck or hand. So, like, if it's in their hand, oh well, tough luck.
It's a really OP card.
Yeah, it's pretty over.
It's too powerful.
But I love it. He's only saying it's too powerful because I've used it against him a lot. Here's Monster Reborn. Don't know what Monster Reborn is. Once again, buy it because you need it. Then here's Lullaby of Obedience. I like this card. It's wonderful. We had it made. Kaiba used this in the anime. It's sweet. It really is. This card allows you to pay 1,000 life points and then declare the name of one level 8 or higher monster in your opponent's deck, and then that card, if it's not in their hand, goes to your hand. So that card is used on Slifer the Sky Dragon, but we did character deck the other day and I used it on Buster Blader. That one requires that you know your opponent's card. Next is Enemy Controller. This card is...
We just errated a little bit.
It's errated a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's not too different, but it's discard 1 card and destroy 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field. Or you can take control of one of your opponent's monsters for 1 turn. And you can only select 1 effect. It's still a quick spell, just like in the anime it was.
Really, really good card.
Next is Command Silencer. This is another card we had made.
This card's really sweet. Kaiba used this against Yugi. What's really sweet about this card is it negates the attack of 1 monster and then allows you to draw 1 card. So really, with Command Silence, Silencer, I should say, it's a really, really just great card. And it's actually my favorite spell card in Kaiba's deck. It's just a really super good card.
Next is Card of Demise. This card is pretty awesome. Like, I like using this card when I've run down. Like, I've got 1 card left in my hand, or maybe I just played my last one. And then I'll activate this. Just draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. During your 5th standby phase after activation, send all cards in your hand to the graveyard. To be honest, usually when I've used this in a game, I usually win before I get to that 5 turns. Like I said, just Kaiba's deck is a lot of fun, and you usually don't feel the side effect of any of these.
We know this card's been made, but we had our fake card made before the actual original card, or the new card come out. But the new card that they come out also has a different effect than what the actual card in anime had, so we just keep our card that we already had made.
Here's Shrink, like I was talking about earlier. This reduces the original attack of a monster by half until the end of the turn. Then we have Thirst for Compensation. It's another card we had made. If a card effect controlled by your opponent changes the number of cards in your hand, you may special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower monsters from your hand to the field in defense mode. It's pretty nice. Card Destruction would be one you could use that for.
It's kind of like an Obelisk Tormentor hitter.
Yeah.
Like if you can use that card with OBT on the field, then you can pretty much win the game.
Yep. Next is Silent Doom. This is, what it is. Target one normal monster in the graveyard, special summon it, face up defense position. It cannot attack, so it has to stay in defense position.
Sacrifice hit mostly.
You pull that one out for a sacrifice. That's really about it. Or maybe if you got something with a really powerful defense, you'll bring it out on the field. And then Card Guard. It's another card we had made. Discard 1 card. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed this turn. It's really cool. I like that card. It's come in handy a lot. Next is Interdimensional Matter Transporter. This is actually a spell card based on the anime. It's a quick spell, so you can use it just, if a monster is getting ready to attack, you do that, and then he's banished till the end of the phase.
And we do it like the anime effect. Like whenever it banishes the card, your opponent does not select a new attack target. It just cancels the attack, negates the attack pretty much.
Next is Cost Down. Discard 1 card. Reduce the level of all monsters in your hand by 2 until the end of this turn.
It's just a really good card, to pull out.
Yep.
Super great card, and it's a good Blue Eyes hitter.
Yeah. Next is Soul Exchange. All right, this one's a big one. In the anime, you could sacrifice up to 3 monsters on any side of the field. So that's how we did this one. And it's really awesome because, once again, God card. If your opponent's got 3 monsters getting ready to do theirs and they're waiting next turn, but you've got an OBT in your hand, oh yeah, they're going to be upset. Next is Spell Sanctuary. This card's pretty... Awesome. It's amazing. They need to make this. We had to have it made, though. This card, when this card is activated, both players select and move 1 spell card from their deck to their hands. As long as this card remains face up on the field, all set spell cards are treated as quick play spell cards and may be activated during the respected opponent's turn. So, that's cool. During your opponent's turn, they attack you, you activate Monster Reborn. What? That's awesome. Next is Ring of Defense and Ring of Destruction. Now, everybody who knows Kaiba knows that this was used for awesome reasons and always used
Best
together.
spell trap combo ever.
Always used together. Anyways, one is to destroy a monster and you lose life points equal to the attack. And it's direct damage. And then the Ring of Defense is to protect you from taking any kind of damage, effect damage from anything, really. But use it with Ring of Destruction. That's the best way to use it. Then we have Cloning, which is when a monster is normal and flip summoned, you can special summon this card. And it's just a copy of their card, only it can't really do anything. It's just on your field, and it's in the exact same position that theirs is in.
And we use it where you can sacrifice it. Just another easy way to summon Blue Eyes or Obelisk.
Next, we've got Magical Trick Mirror, another one we had made. Activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack. Activate 1 spell card from your opponent's graveyard. So your opponent declares an attack, and then you look over their graveyard and you pick a spell card, and it's just I don't know, it's really cool. I've used it a lot. Then we've got Power Balance. I like this card too. You run your hand down to 0 cards or something. Anyways, we had it made. This card can only be activated when you have 0 cards in your hand. Your opponent must discard half the amount of cards in their hand. You can then draw the same number of cards your opponent discarded. I like it. It's pretty cool. Here's Crush Card Virus. Crush Card Virus, we've errated it a little bit to match the anime better. Tribute 1 dark monster with 1,000 attack or less and destroy all monsters in your opponent's deck or hand with 1,500 or more attack points. You get this one going with Virus Cannon, and you've pretty much won the duel. Even if you can't beat their monsters, they're still going to run out of cards in the drawing.
You can pretty much see why this deck is the most powerful out of the character decks. I mean, Kaiba's deck pretty much has so many overpowered cards. It's a really, really good deck.
Next, we have Attack Guidance Armor. I love this card. A lot of people don't realize it, but this is a card we had made. But you can realize you can use this card, direct an attack to the monster that is equipped with this cursed armor. Anyways, like your opponent has 2 monsters on the field, you've got 1. He's attacked your monster. You activate this and redirect their attack to their own monster. All right, and I used this the other day against Yugi's deck and ended up destroying. I don't even remember which 2 cards it was now.
I think it was Queen's Knight and...
Was it Gazelle? I don't know. They have the same attack.
Yeah,
but anyways,
like
he had to
that.
attack himself and destroy the monster, and it stopped him from summoning Slifer. So it's hilarious. Next, we have XY Dragon Cannon. He's the fusion of X-Head Cannon and a Y Dragon Head. And once again, he's really not a fusion. He's really just the Union equipped, but they made him a fusion card. This monster can only be special summoned by removing from play above monsters. Once again, just the the X-Head Cannon and the Y Dragon Head. You do not use polymerization, like it even says on there. It is a special summon. You discard 1 card in your hand, destroy 1 face-up spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. Then we've got XYZ Dragon Cannon. This is with all 3 of those Machine Union cards, X-Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. Once again, same thing. You don't need polymerization. You cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. You can discard 1 card, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy that target. This is just really cool. He's awesome. Then we've got Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, which is what we were talking about earlier with 3 Thunder Dragons. You only need 2 in polymerization. He's got no extra effect, but he's got 2,800 attack.
So easy to summon.
Yeah, it's easy to get out there. And then the ultimate of ultimates, best card in Kaiba's deck, in my opinion, but hardest to summon, is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. No effect, but 4,500 attack and 3,800 defense. Like, he's a beast. You just need all 3 Blue Eyes and then a polymerization, and like you've got it. This is legit right here. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like it, share it on Facebook. Doesn't matter. Subscribe. Just leave us some good comments and some good reviews. Thank you.
Keep it classy, guys.